Hey, AdCat here, and today we have the Parrot Swing. I got this direct from Parrot. It was another great deal, end of the year, direct from Parrot. I'm really excited about this one. This is a quadcopter that launches vertically, like a quadcopter or a standard drone, and then it can kind of fly like a plane, and I'll show you that in action. I'm going to give you the review, unboxing, tell you what we think, and go from there. So let's start. Let's open the box. Very excited about this one and see what is inside. I'm very excited about this one. Open it up and let's take a look. Cool. Cool. So the great thing I'm going to start with on this one, let's just open up. You get two boxes within the main box. This is the Parrot Swing. And then, which made this a great value for me to buy, you also get the Parrot Flypad. Let alone by itself, the Flypad is actually about $40 retail, $35, $40 retail. So alone, that's actually about what I paid for the swing. And let's open up the swing, which is also taped. Let's get our knife. Let's open it up and see what we have inside this one. So two boxes within it. Just cool how they do it. Nice packaging. I gotta say, whoa, this looks very cool. This looks really awesome. Let's just take a look inside the box. We have what looks to be a quick start guide. Lay this out for you. This is probably spare propeller blades, which I think that's what it is. Nope, this is actually the battery. And we'll go through that. Yep, they do give you propeller blades. You can get them out of the box. You get 4 total, 2 of each. And they're color coded so you know which part they go on because they each spin in a certain direction. We'll leave those out. Very cool. And then we get the swing. Whoa, is that cool or what? That is just awesome looking. From a design perspective, it is so cool. And again, it launches this way, and then you can tilt it using the controls to fly like a plane. It's got a top speed when it is flying like a plane. Top speed of almost 19 miles per hour. It's 18.64. It's got a bunch of sensors on it, so it knows it hovers level off the ground. And it looks just really, really cool. So I'm gonna leave this right like that for now. And that is it for this box. Let's go talk about the Flypad quick, and then we can go into the specs. It's very cool how that's designed. Very excited about this. So the Flypad, I guess, was their answer to their affordable mini drones to be able to use your classic RC stick, remote control stick controllers. When they released this, I was very excited. The only negative of the Flypad is it doesn't work in a lot of the older mini drones. It only works in the newer mini drones. So if you have the AR, the Parrot AR drone 2.0, it's not going to work with that. It's also not going to work with like the old original mini drone rolling spiders and a lot of the original mini drone Parrot drones. But this will work with all the new smaller mini drones. So if you have a newer one, again, you can buy this separately. It just happened to be bundled with the Swing, which I'm really happy about. Because my one issue with the Parrot, the more inexpensive Parrot drones, mini drones, was that you actually didn't have your classic RC controller. Wow, it looks very cool. So that's the controller. Very nice, your classic sticks, buttons. It's almost like a PlayStation or Xbox controller. Very cool. This is the piece that your smartphone is going to attach to. So this is going to clip on right here, right like that actually. It gives you some flexibility. and your phone's there. You can get, so while you're flying, you can also have your phone there, and you can see specific readouts, battery life, and a couple other things, and we'll show you that. Very cool. And this is probably going to be the charger. At the bottom, you get your Flypad quick start guide. So we're going to put that there. This is probably the charger or a USB cable. Let's see what's in here. Yep, your USB cable. Wow, that Parrot Swing just looks really cool. Again, it comes in two colors. I got white. It also comes in a black model. And let's take a quick look again what came in the box. You're going to have your two manuals, one for the Parrot Flypad and a quick start guide for the Parrot Swing as well. You have your Flypad controller, which really what makes this a great value. It does come in the box and you can use this. It's really nice, feels really good. You have to charge it. There's a micro USB connector on the bottom where you're going to charge it. You get a little cell phone adapter. Again, this is going to clip in and screw into the top. Again, it is removable, which is nice. You're going to get a micro USB cable to charge it. You're going to get extra propellers, two propellers of each, a 550 milliamp battery. Again, it's important to remember with the battery, they do sell extra batteries, and you have to charge the battery unless you get an external power adapter in the drone. So you can see on the Parrot Swing, the micro USB adapter on the back, along with the camera and a couple of sensors. But you have to charge it, the battery, while it's in the Parrot Swing. So let's go over the Parrot Flypad. It's really nice that you get this in the box. This is what I always missed with the lower mini drones that Parrot sold. But you do get this. It's like a standard PlayStation, Xbox controller, which is really nice. Some of the specifications of it, it has a 200 milliamp battery, approximately 6-hour battery life, takes about 2 hours to charge. It gives you a 200-foot range, which is a little more stable signal. And you can automatic and direct connect to your drone, which is nice. It used Bluetooth version 4, and the controller weighs about 10 ounces or so. You can see it's a really well-built device, and I'm really happy they finally offer this for the smaller mini drones that Parrot makes, and of course the Parrot Swing. This came in the package with the Swing as well. Gives you buttons for takeoff, landing, the stunts, and then you get that finer, easy-to-fly controls of using a stick. So just some of the specs on the Parrot Swing. Again, we have the 500 milliamp battery. I've been getting about a 7-minute battery life if you just do it in quad mode. So my older son wants to fly it. He was a little nervous to put it in plane mode. On average, we got 6 or 7 minutes. You get a little bit longer if you do primarily plane mode. So once you switch it to plane mode, you get about an extra minute, minute and a half. You get about 8.5 minutes on that. It takes about 30 minutes to charge. Again, it is Bluetooth. You get about a maximum altitude of about 80 feet. Bluetooth version 4. The Bluetooth range is about 65 feet with a smartphone or 200 feet with the Flypad. And I would recommend, if you're going to fly it, use the Flypad and get it with the Flypad, because it's a night and day experience. It's so much more fun to fly it with the Flypad. If you don't use the Flypad, you're going to use the Free Flight Mini app, which is of course free from Parrot. And again, you're going to use the touch screens. But all the functionality of the app is on the Flypad. So you get the takeoff landing button, your stunt buttons are there. There's one button click to go into plane mode, and you can quickly take it out of plane mode. And it's a lot of fun to fly. It's important to note also that this is very light. It's 2.57 ounces or 73 grams, which is really light. So any sort of wind, you're going to have issues, and the wind is going to take this. I flew it in about 10 miles an hour, and it was just, we gave up. We landed it, and actually when it landed, it blew over. The Parrot Swing taking off, it's going to take off vertically in regular drone mode, and then you have the option there to either just pilot it like a regular drone or then switch it to plane mode. So you can see basic maneuvers. This happened to be a really windy day, probably about 10 to 12 mile per hour winds. So at points, when we were sitting there in drone mode, you could see it drifting back a little bit. And it wasn't as stable as I would have liked. But again, it's a light drone, so that I do expect this on windy days. I can't wait till nicer weather comes and we can actually pilot it. Here you can see one click of the button on the Flypad and it's going to turn right into plane mode. You can see how cool it looks. It's very fast in plane mode. It goes almost 19 miles an hour. And you can see how quick it goes off, and it's really maneuverable, and it's just so fun to fly in plane mode. I can't stress, it's so fun to fly. Again, tap a one button, you're back in drone mode, and then you can maneuver it as a drone, do what you need to. And again, one click and you're back in plane mode. So again, as you can see from this footage, this was a pretty slightly windy day. As you can see from this footage, it was a windy day and there were gusts. So when the gusts came, the drone took off. I mean, you really lose control if you're not paying attention. I had my younger son and you can see here there was a gust of wind and it just literally took off. Luckily, it blew into these bushes. There was no damage. But if you do have a gust of wind, you could lose control of the drone pretty easily. Again, it's really light, so the slightest bit of wind, you may have issues. In plane mode, depending upon your angle, it's not as big as issue as it is when you're in regular drone mode. So my older son was sick this day, so my younger son came out with me just to check it out. He loves to watch these things fly. He has a lot of fun. He loved watching it fly. I mean, he thought it was the coolest thing that this drone could all of a sudden turn into a plane and go really fast and zoom away. So we had a really good time flying it. So have I liked this drone? Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I've had a great time flying it so far. And I can't wait for the weather to get better here. And again, you can see quickly, one touch, you're in plane mode. And then you're basically piloting it just like you would an RC plane. It's very fast. So here's one more time again. We're in regular drone mode. Gonna click one button on the stick and you see how quickly it goes to plane mode and how quickly it takes off. It gets some real nice speed and it's a lot of fun to fly. It's very responsive. Again, I would not recommend flying this without the Flypad. I wouldn't, especially in plane mode, because it takes off and it goes fast. You can see one tap of the button is back in drone mode. I wanted to show you one more time the vertical takeoff. Very simple, very cool. Tap of a button and then boom, you're in plane mode and you can see how quickly it goes. It's very fun and very pilotable. So we're back here with the review portion of the video. We've had this for about a month now. I've had a bunch of flights with it. And my son, my 13-year-old son, has flown it as well. So what do I think of it? We actually love it. It's a lot of fun. It's a drone that lifts vertically, and then you can, by the click of one button on the Flypad, it turns into a plane and it gets some nice speed. It's a lot of fun. A couple of quick notes. The negatives, really only two negatives. It's a little fragile, although my son on one of the first flights did fly it right into the house. We lost the propeller. I made a separate video if you want to check in the description. The description and directions they give you on actually changing the propellers aren't right. So in the directions you find with Parrot, the black and white are reversed, so it becomes a little confusing. But we were able to, but there was minimal damage actually done. He flew it right into the house, he put it in plane mode, got the sticks mixed up, it turned around and actually went right into the house. This propeller hit, no issues, no structural damage. It's still in actually very good shape after all our flights. So wind is an issue to it. Wind will take it. It's very light, which is understandable, but it'll drift on you, especially in drone mode. In plane mode, when it's flying like this, it's got a little more stability and a little more speed, which shouldn't be an issue. But again, when you're flying as a regular drone and that gust of wind comes, we had one or two gusts of winds, as you saw in the video, where it was probably 15, 20 miles an hour. It took it. We lost control. One time it hit the bushes and crashed. Again, not major structural damage. You really can't see much going on with there. So those are really only the two negatives. It's a lot of fun to fly. My son loved it. He had a blast flying it. My little son, who's 4, actually loved watching it fly. He thought it was just so cool that it launched vertically like a drone, and then all of a sudden we can make it fly like a plane. So he had a lot of fun running around. It's a fun plane. It's fast. One more negative was the battery life. In regular drone mode, we flew it. We got about 7 minutes or so. In plane mode, ironically enough, when it's going faster, you actually get more time, which was weird, I guess, because here it's just hovering and it's trying to keep its position and speed. Where you're flying, it's actually doing less of those sensors that way, and you're just piloting it naturally with the Flypad. So again, two negatives: it's light, battery life, and wind will be an issue if you're flying it on a windy day. But it's a lot of fun. I highly recommend picking one of these up. The Flypad part was awesome. If you're gonna get this or any of the other Parrot mini drones, try and get the Flypad of any of the ones that can actually support it. Just a quick note on the Flypad. Again, it'll fit. Here's a regular iPhone. Again, no problem size-wise. I have an iPhone 10 as well. It fit no problem. And just to give you a perspective, a lot of people were asking, this is an LG V20, LG's big phones, and you can see it fits no problem. It's very stable in there. The phone's not flying out or anything like that. It's got a little cushion on the top and bottom, and the phone stays in very well. Okay, so to pair the drone, I'm just gonna go over it quick because it wasn't totally clear, but you actually launch the Flypad Mini app, and it's gonna look for your drone. And it detects it. So once it detects it at this part, the way you actually connect the Flypad, I'm just gonna put it in here. You then turn the Flypad on by holding the button for a second. Once it's green, you'll notice there's a little controller app right there, and I'm gonna tap on that. You notice it now turns green here, and then we're all set to go. So I can come back, and now we can control it by using this. I would highly recommend, if you're gonna get this, the bundle I got, it came with the Flypad, but to get the Flypad, because it's that much more fun when you fly it. It's responsive. You have the takeoff and landing buttons, you get the stunt buttons, one tap of R1, the bottom stick, it puts you in plane mode, and you can just tap quickly on the landing and takeoff mode to do that. It's very cool, it's a lot of fun, and it's very easy to start. When you're on the Flypad, you also get battery life and the time of your flight, which is cool, and you get a lot of interesting statistics. And quickly power it up. I don't recommend flying it in the house. It's actually not as responsive as a regular drone, mini drone, because it is the wings. I find it drifts a little bit more. But that's it. That's how you pair it very quickly. I actually had another Parrot mini drone. It uses the same 550 milliamp battery, so I can swipe them out easier. The only other negative, again, I don't have a charger for the Parrot batteries, is you need a micro USB. You have to charge the battery while it's in the drone. Again, not a major thing. So in conclusion, we loved it. My son loves it. I had a blast flying it, but I highly recommend picking one up. And that's it. Any questions or comments, please put them below. I'll do my best to answer them. Give us a thumbs up, a like if you enjoyed the video, and be sure to subscribe. We have a lot of other cool drone and RC videos coming as well. And we'll see you next time. Take care, everybody. Thanks for watching.